I began to do what I eventually am doing now is because I felt like photography and paintings were really 2D and I wanted a 3D effect to it, and I wanted people to feel the image like literally. And it's really important to interact with the work because it's more interesting that way, and that's kind of what pushes me to continue what I do. For me, it's just day to day, like hearing people's conversations. A lot of my work is emotionally triggered, so it's based on like how I feel and my mood and all that expression. And I think trash TV, like from anything around me, I get inspired. There's not one thing, but it mainly, I guess, be emotion. Sometimes it'll be like an instant, like you'll instantly know what you want to do and then I just start to do it. But a lot of the things that I create is freestyle, so I just let it like take me to whatever I feel and however I feel like making the image, and that's kind of become a very natural thing to me. And if I pre-plan it, I feel like the work is worse. Maybe not aesthetically, but I feel like it wouldn't be as much of a real thing to me, in a sense that it wouldn't feel right to like put it out there, and I don't usually premeditate things, so it's very like instinctual and very expressive and emotional, which is why like a lot of my work is really messy and impulsive, and it's very different from like traditional embroidery where, you know, it's always very delicate, very elegant and very feminine, and that's what I'm trying to change the perception of. So I guess it's just natural to do that. So I started that because when I was in foundation, I did the fashion communication route. So we were taught to like collect a lot of magazines, research through looking at editorials in it to get a feel. And I was just getting really like bored, I guess, of the typical fashion imagery and half of it being ads and such. So there was not much substance for some, but I loved like visual imagery, and I just felt like I could contribute something to it even though I wasn't like in the scene at the time. So I began to just sew on it and treated it like my sketchbook, because also blank sheets are really hard to like make you want to start something. So I felt like it was the perfect base for creating and putting all my thoughts onto paper. I also started it because I felt like I wanted to just inject some humor and like really funny stuff into it, really silly stuff. And it turned out that it could be an interesting development. So it really helped push my ideas and like allow me to do what I do today. I mean, I've started collecting like just a bunch of, I did this exhibition called Trash, and it was where I made that bag, and it's out of like a lot of recycled single waste items. And the reason I did it was because I thought it was something new and challenging, and I'd never done it before. So I've started to want to work a lot more with like recyclable items. As you can see around my like living space, it's a lot of stuff I've collected just that are easily recyclable, because wasting is it breaks my heart. I think Tate Modern would suit it, because that was like the first gallery that I went to. Literally 3 days moving into London, I went there, and it's not like it's not the most like it would change my life if my work was there, but it would be really cool to come full circle and actually like have something there.
Yeah.
And I think they promote emerging artists really well, and they're all for supporting like young new artists. So I think currently that would be where my work would be suited. It's just to allow people to express their emotions wholly and just feel the work and do what they want, as cheesy as that sounds. I think what I want people to kind of see through my work is to see that it's okay to have these like emotional habits, because oftentimes, especially as women, we're told like if we, I guess, have a really strong point of view, we're crazy or too emotional. And I just want to embrace all of that, like as a woman, as someone just living as a human. I'd like to just embrace that in my work, and also I guess I'd like to destigmatize a lot of things that are seen as taboos that women face. I guess that would be like a running theme throughout a lot of my work, especially lately, where I've worked a lot with like upcoming projects and zines where it's all about that and all about getting rid of the taboo and just normalizing it instead of just creating more of a shame culture. I think that would be ideal to conceptually develop my work more towards, yeah.